Welcome back. You're tuned into Inspired Afternoons with me, Mariam Mia, and now we're talking something light-hearted in the virtual space. We're talking emojicons. They've become part of our lives, become part of how we communicate. Um, Messages we send. Yes, emojicons have replaced thousand words, has replaced our emotions, and they've been our medium of expressing exactly how we feel. So today, to discuss emojicons as well as emojicons now have skin color, tone that has been now added to them, and should we and that's a question I'd like to ask. Should a person express their actual skin tone in an emojicon, or when you're in a virtual space, can you take on a virtual persona? So joining me is, I would say, an expert in this type of marketing. So I'm going to be speaking to Conrad Davis, who is the founder and CEO of Hashtag South Africa, a social media agency that specializes in social media management, consulting, and analytics. Hashtag South Africa was created out of the National Development Plan 2030 of South Africa based on the growing need to expand the awareness of South African products and services to the world. Conrad focuses on geographic location and growing awareness of the people in these sectors to stimulate GDP and the use of digital technology. So let me welcome. Good afternoon, Conrad. Very, very revolutionary that you've seen a gap in this market here, and maybe about 5 years ago it would have been like a nothing company, and today it's so much needed. So congratulations on the outset on your vision to create a company such as this.
Thank you, Miriam, and thank you to listeners for being on today. Yeah, it was in 2011 that I came up with the idea for the business. Almost, what is it, 9 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
So when we started off, many people didn't even bother about social media or using internet that much, even though it was so big. And with present society, even especially with 2020, it's been a rapid growth and a rapid acceleration for people to use. So yeah, it's great. It's great to be a part of the curve.
100%, yes, and also visionary in the space here. So, now if I think of emojicons and all the signals we get, and the faces and the hearts and the way we can express ourselves, I can't think of time 2 or 3 years ago prior to this, because it's just become part of our everyday language. Just a normal thumbs up or a hug, or
Yeah.
I can't see, or it speaks a thousand words. It saves time. It's also convenient because you have your favorite list. So I just go to there, and whatever language emojicon language I want to use, it's there. So yes, here emojicon has become part of our language landscape.
It is. It is. Back in the days, I remember when we had basic text SMSs, we should be able to draw those teddy bears or those smiley faces. And then now where we are with WhatsApp and iPhones and smartphones that have those preset emojis, it makes it a lot more easier to express ourselves, especially with the new younger generation using it to talk sentences or conversation. Even you and I might get lost with that, but we try and pick up. So it takes us back to the days of the caveman, and even before then, writing on the walls. Symbols always meant something. The Egyptians used it in places where people couldn't understand the text and languages. They would use images to explain the situation. I think being in the digital generation that we are in, emojis are used to express ourselves a bit better. And even though we might be sitting reading a joke and we want to laugh, but we don't really want to laugh, we will just press one button. So, yeah, that's where we are today.
I love this. You brought something to light that I have not thought about in terms of,
Mm,
you're quite correct, symbolism, and you brought the relationship of the symbolism in uh, historic areas. So even like tribes such as the San people, the Khoi people. If you look at
mm,
Drakensberg,
mm,
in the caves of Drakensberg, there are many symbols depicting their feeling, their lifestyle things. Here in South Africa, we're rich. We don't even have to go as north in Africa to the Egyptians and their many ancient Egyptians and their symbols. But if I just look at South Africa and
mm,
the tribes, dating back even the early 1400s, 1500s as well. If you look at especially tribes such as the Khoisan, and that they were very expressive people, and in caves, and that especially in the Drakensberg area, I know of and familiar and visited. There's rich drawings here, and perhaps we could say that was the start of emojicons have probably dated there, because you brought this amazing link that I didn't even think of.
Yeah, yeah. The good thing is they didn't have to worry about datables back then. So,
Absolutely.
they were drawing for free. But that's what it comes down to. Sometimes, in a time where people couldn't even read and write, they could just draw a picture or they would express. And I think, as generation goes on, there'll be new forms of medium of ways of how we will leave a message or text behind. Now, luckily for us, unlike past generations, only a certain few elect people could write on a wall or read a book or write something down. But in present day society, every single person on the planet with a mobile device that has access to the internet can be a contributing factor to society. So it's not just about sharing rumors and jokes and stories, but also leaving impactful messages behind. And that's something I truly has been remaining consistent on.
Okay, so now I think people are chewing the fat. Every week something new trends and people chew the
Yeah,
fat and
yeah.
discuss. So we have the trending topic, which has some people hot under the collar and others take it in their stride and just part of the
Mhm.
narrative of the
Yes.
week. So I think started last week, the narrative was then. So emojicons are always evolving in terms of the offerings. And was it last year or just a little before that, that then you could then, so
Introduce the color
before everything was
diversity.
yellow,
Mm,
before everything was yellow, the safe yellow, and then suddenly you had your pale shade going down. I think it's 3 or 4 shades. Yeah, I'm just going back to my thing,
mm,
and
mm.
until you get the black tone here with brown in betweens. So I didn't think anything until I think it was reported that a sort of black person then put a white emojicon on, or a paler shade, and people
Yeah.
took offense that this person wanted to be lighter than what they want. So is it really important, or can you, for me, if you are in this virtual space, then can't you just adopt a persona of who you'd like to be? So if you had that vision of being that maybe hazel eyes and
Yeah.
brunette
Yeah.
person, then what's the harm in uh, developing
You
your
know,
your virtual persona, or should you be always politically correct? What's your take on this as an analyst?
I think from an analyst point of view as well as from a psychological point of view, because we do a lot of studies in the marketing space, and also we've worked with the tech companies that actually release these emojis, like Apple and and Google. It comes down to people preference. If you give people one selected point of view, they feel limited. Now we're in a society where diversity has played a role, and they've given people more options to suit their racial tone. But if an individual wants to use an emoji different to their skin color tone, that's perfectly up to them. Honestly, I created these iPhone emojis with a blue face and a different color hair just because I didn't want to be set to that racial tone. Or I sometimes use different. I sometimes use the yellow one. It comes down to preference. I think if coming back to trends like how you mentioned, if people are making the issue out of it, I think there's a further underlying issue into the psychology of South Africans that we're just looking to have a fight with everyone over everything. I think it's a pointless debate where they are complaining because someone chose a different emoji. People are dying this year with COVID and so forth. But then again, South Africans will always find a way to fight with each other. If someone's doing well in America, that's South African. They'll complain no one's sending money. Coming back to the storyline, I think that these phone providers have created emojis to allow people to select diversity, yellow, brown, black, to whatever color tone they want, whether they want to use it or not. To the audience that receives those emojis, no, I think being in South Africa, we fought for democracy and freedom of speech. If someone wants to have a yellow emoji or a black emoji or blue emoji, let them do so. You're not gonna. There's no need for you to categorize or limit yourself. At the end of the day, if you want to create a persona, and this is something I genuinely believe in, why not be and share yourself, like yourself, Miriam, like myself. We're putting our face out there. We're putting our voice out there. We shouldn't be hiding behind a caricature. Now, another cool feature is Facebook launched these emojis now where we can create our own faces that resemble us. That just goes into deeper learning of what's to come. in the months to follow, where you'll be able to have more of an animated persona of who you are in the digital ecosystem, where you can go to shops. That's
Well,
a
similar to the Netflix ones, because Netflix also allows you to have your profile and you can choose sort of
yeah.
to make yourself up like this. So is it similar to that one of
It's
Netflix
okay.
offering?
It's similar to that, but the cool thing is that that's just for them creating a digital persona, so that instead of you using your face, you can use an animated version. So with virtual reality coming out, when you put those masks on, you'll be able to see a digital representation of yourself. So at the end of the day, whether you want to show who you really are, if you're introvert or extrovert, it doesn't really matter. It's giving you, these platforms are giving you an avenue to express yourself in whatever way possible. And I think we must look at the positiveness of that, then look at the misrepresentation of how it's seen racially.
Yeah, for me, I feel that's for me. Your virtual space is a safe space for you, like you
Mm.
say, for expression. So if I'm a pale skin tone and I like to put a dark WhatsApp or thumbs up or whatever it is, thumbs up, then people should respect that, as this is somebody's space, and allow
Mm.
them to express themselves in this way. I think, what we society, in every part of society, we judge in terms of how we dress, how we look, our weight, your body weight, everything you do, you're out there. And the police, the judges are there, the magistrates are there, the social judges, the social magistrates, the public court of public opinion are there. And I
Yes.
think, what, maybe we should make it fashionable that people are allowed creative license in the virtual space, in our electronic space and platform. So if, like you say, you've went for something radical, which is blue and refreshing, and maybe just go like this. Yes. So yeah, and blue for me is safe, because green face would say, oh, envious, would
Envy,
speak. Then
envy.
again, somebody's gonna go, she's green face, she's just that envious person, or red, then she's just full of the rage.
Yeah,
So
be
I love this.
expressive. Change it up whenever you want. If you feel like having a certain color today, do that. Don't we at the end of the day, we're all individuals. Yes, there'll always be negative criticism out in the world, but we must be strong enough to take opinion and digest it, or just push it aside. If you're comfortable in the messages you share, in how you look at in a emoji, or in how you look by what you wear and putting it online, that is who you are. That's who you own. Because at the end of the day, with as how short life may be, for a moment in time, that is who you are. And so
Okay.
don't let yourself be cut short by being an individual.
So I just want to know, while I've got you online, and it's not every day I get an analyst who is now in the social media space and studying trends and things like that. There's two questions that I want to ask you.
Oh,
First, what do you think is a trend forecaster in the space? Which way we heading in terms of this? Are we going? Is this going to become now a life where conversations will be taking place more on electronic medium than face to face as we go? Especially with COVID, I think that was a
mm,
catalyst to actually drive this technology, because there were many people out here who hadn't taken to this technology. And I'm thinking even the 50 plus generation, who then prior to COVID did not own a smartphone and was still
yeah.
uh, communicating via SMS or just normal telephone calls, have now embraced this technology. Do you think this is the way we're going in terms of having online discussions and maybe even conversations and connecting in the space?
Yeah, COVID has really rapidly increased the way we use digital. I still strongly believe that human to human interaction will still always be a very important thing. It's what makes us human. We can't be separated individuals forever. But with the positiveness of digital, yes, from video conferencing to voice messages, to text messages, to group online conversations, to virtual reality headsets where you'll be able to put it on and be in a room full of your friends and family that are there, to the point eventually where you will have little augmented reality, virtual reality beams in your home, where you can have like that futuristic Star Wars video conferencing with friends and family. The future is here. We're in the year 2020, and before the year 2025, 2030, we'll be seeing a lot more Internet of Things in your households, where you'll be able to interact digitally, go visit Dubai from your home with interactive headsets. So The future is here. Embracing this technology is here. But most importantly, uh, we should always remember about being who we are and expressing who we are. The most important last point I'd like to leave as well is we're living in a digital economy where products and services are being pushed to us from across the world. So as South Africans, as Africans, we must jump on this global economy and market ourselves, find customers from around the world, and help to boost this economy. Instead of us looking at moving away, let's look at how we can make money while still being here. And it is
Yeah,
possible.
I love what you said here, because that's an avenue that people should say. So let's showcase South Africa to the world, and let's open up. Business is open to anybody. Trade with us. We have unique offerings. We have unique products. We have very industrious individuals out there, innovators, visionaries out there, and uh, like you said, with the online platform of sales and marketing, the world's our oyster. So let's embrace the digital technology in that respect, because that is going to really solve many problems and also increase our GDP there. So thanks so much for your expert advice, and also indulging us on this little trends and social media spats in
Thank
it.
you,
I
Maria.
hire an analyst to just give it some legitimacy and make it important, because we have a young team of producers here, and
Uh-huh.
they always looking on these trends, and they always informing us. So they were here, and they took it to heart, and the office debate was going on. So I said,
Yeah.
okay, let's if this is the office debate everywhere else, so I'm sure let's just provide a platform and let's chew the fat over this. And then I said, bring me somebody big gun who can actually give an expert analysis on this. So I know you've got bigger issues to discuss about seriousness on this, but thank you for indulging us on a little trends and that and spets that go on
No,
and
thank you.
trend all the
Thank you
time
so much.
again. It's been an absolute pleasure, and hope to speak to you in the future with
I look
regard
forward to
to
yeah.
the future of our digital space and how we're moving as South Africa as a country in terms of this. Thanks so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Conrad Travis Davis, and founder and CEO of hashtag South Africa Social Media Agency. Thanks so much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Bye bye.
And thank you for giving me or honoring me with the privilege of your company and your time. And until next week, may you be under the mercy and protection of the Almighty. And from me, it's peace and blessings to everybody.